नेक्स्ट साइकिल देखो उसका 25 वाला।
रोल नंबर 25 you.
Yes, sir.
रोल नंबर 25 you.
Yes, sir. I am roll number 25.
मैम आप रीड कर सकते हैं बायोडा? अभी ग्रुप में डाला है सर ने मैसेज अपने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में।
Sir, can you talk in English? I can't
मैम वो
understand here.
बायोडा रीड करना है, मॉर्निंग समरी अपना मॉर्निंग बायोडा रिसर्च पर्सन ज्वाइन करना है। यस
मैम
Roll
Sir?
number
Hello.
25, ma'am. Please, you have to read the
Hello.
biodata. Morning
Ma'am.
session, which is already available on WhatsApp group, EVS group. Just read that. One page is there.
But you said vote of thanks only, no, for me.
No. Vote of thanks is different things you have to read. Please request. This is vote of thanks is formality. We will give anyone or we can continue.
Okay. Okay, sir. Give me 5 minutes. I will prepare.
Read from that only. In
Okay,
short.
sir. I will. Okay, sir. No issues.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, video we want to on or we can off.
You can put on while you're reading any biodata. You can put it on. No issue. है ना?
Okay, sir.
गौरव
येस सर.
अरे नारायण सर जॉईन झाले का?
सर जॉईन झाले होते सर आता. आय थिंक परत डिस्कनेक्ट झाले सर आमच्या.
हा ते त्यांना वाटत असेल अजून सुरू नाही झालं असेल. जॉईन करून घे त्यांना.
हो येस सर. सर सरांना कॉल करता येईल का एकदा?
ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
Hello Gaurav.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
Yes, good morning sir. Very good morning.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
I'm audible?
Yeah, I'm audible, sir.
Yeah. Please. So on behalf of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University and on the behalf of MMTTCC HRDC, I warmly welcome today's for the morning session program.
Yes,
Professor J.Narayana all the way from Shimoga, okay, Shankargatta. He is the head of the department, leading head of the Department of Environmental Science. So sir, total there are 75 teachers on the board and from the different disciplines they are. Okay. So with this small introduction on behalf of Honorable Vice Chancellor sir also and even the Director HRDC, Dr. S. Patil and the colleague Mr. Abdul Rafi sir and all the non-teaching and teaching on behalf of them. I warmly welcome here. Now one of the participants will read your biodata now. I request ma'am you please just introduce the Professor J. Narayana. Ma'am, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you please introduce Professor J.Narayana.
So my voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, audible, please.
Okay, sir. So very good morning to one and all gathered here. And he is Narayanan, sir. He is a senior professor, Department of Environmental Science in Kuvempur University. And almost teaching experience is 28 years. And his publication is 115 publications, and PhD awarded is 26 MPhils and 5 PhDs. And the position held is Director, School of Earth Science, and Environmental Science Director, School of Environmental Science and Earth Resource, Professor and Chairman, Department of Environmental Science, and the member of Karnataka State Level Expert Appraisal Committee appointed by the Ministry of Environmental and Forest, Government of India, New Delhi, in the year June 2017 to 2018, and the member Karnataka Biodiversity Board and PBR reviewed appointed by Ministry of Environmental and Forest, Government of Karnataka in the year 2017 to 2018. And the academic background and achievement included its total years of experience is 24 years, and the lecturing is 7 years, and reader 3 years, and associate professor as the university 3 years, and the professor of environmental science on 2009 onwards. Research contributions, number of research scholars who have died PhD under her director supervision is 24, and 2 number of scholars obtained PhD in her guidance, and number 5 obtained PhD MPhil degrees in her supervision, and counting 4 now he is guiding for their PhDs, and 115 publications, national and international journals he has published. Sorry, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience. And research publications is 115 research publications in national and international level, and the funded research projects are successfully completed in count of 6, and 6 number of seminars, symposium, conference, workshop, professor organized, and 40 count of he has had. And the books of 2 new books he has released in the occupational health and vermicell compositions in Kannada language. And he received a 6 number of awards from various and countries visited. He has Bangkok and Malaysia for paper presenting, and research institute for visiting his upgrading her career. So thank you, sir. Thanks for giving the opportunity for inviting this chief guest to me. And thank you, sir. Thank for our team members. So I warm welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you for your brief introduction.
Yeah. Sir, you please now.
Yeah. Yeah. At the outset, good morning, all of you. It's a great pleasure for me today. I would like to say thanks to Professor Bandela sir and Professor Satish Patil sir for giving me an opportunity to deliver 2 lectures in this refresher course. It's a great pleasure once again to always give an opportunity for delivering lectures in the refresher course. And I told that this is nearly 75 teachers are participating in this refresher course. I hope all of you are audible, my dear participants.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
75 teachers are participating in this refresher course. I'm really happy that it's a very good number, and also you are coming from various disciplines. maybe arts, science, and various other faculties. And I hope you are learning and knowing a lot about environmental management, environmental resources, environmental sustainable environmental management. And this is a very, very important subject. It is any area which need to be known in order to manage sustainable resource management for our to keep this Earth planet sustainable. So in this connection, today I would like to discuss with you for about 1 hour the topic concerned to sustainable management of water resources for human welfare and peace. So I think you're all familiar. I think I have shown you some water bottles. I think everybody, you are all familiar. Every day you used to use water, you used to purchase water, or the water is without water, there is no life. The life, whatever the entire planet, the life which is survived is today is because of the water. It was originated in the planet. So therefore, it is a very amazing substance. Not only that, without the earth, the life started in water, in the where the life was not survived in this earth. So only after the receiving of some water droplets from the atmosphere, and where because of the water which is having hydrogen and oxygen, and thus that is combined with the soil particles and formed nutrients. Later, a single cellular organism was developed. Today, the entire earth and the entire life is covered, the biological life that is called as the biosphere. You know that the entire earth is completely full of biological life. So one of the species what we are today discussing about the human beings also part of this. So therefore, why we want to know more about sustainable management of water resources? Is it necessary? Is it necessary that what happened today? What will be the future problems which we're going to face is because of the water unsustainable management of water resources. So these are the things which we need to know more about these. So therefore, it is. I hope you are all of you are participating fully in order to understand in this subject. I hope all of you are following, my dear participants.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very nice. So in between, I will call you. Please, we will have an interaction. Otherwise, one way interaction may not be useful. So that please always be with me. So in any problems,
Sure, sir. Definitely.
okay. So therefore, we need to interact with us. Okay, that is most important. I think this is the slide which you are showing. The entire the earth, whatever it is, the life, the water which is present in this earth is fully because of the hydrological cycle. You're all familiar with that. The hydrological cycle, the water which evaporates from the ocean, water which evaporates from the rivers, water which evaporates from the soil, water which evaporates from the rocks, and whatever, even our body, whatever it is, consists of nearly 60% of the water which is present in our the life. It is going to evaporate based on the sun support heat. So therefore, this is basically the resource of water which always it is a renewable resource which gets from the atmosphere only during sometimes rainy season. That's what it is a uneven distribution of water in the overall globe, across the globe. So everywhere there is no full of water. There may be water in some of the areas where full of arid in these rain-fed regions. But in some arid regions, the water scarcity is there, water scarcity and water problems are arised, and also drought-prone areas is because of the uneven distribution of rainfall, and the precipitation is very, very less. And therefore, that is the reason where the people are suffering from the water scarcity, and the water is not available. And particularly some of the African countries, you know that where the people are, the water scarcity is very high. So therefore, the most important one is the hydrological cycle, which we need to understand that it is overall, it is a renewable resource. It's a precise, precious resource which will enter into the surface from the major part of the entire water, which is what is called as evaporated from the oceans. So therefore, very limited amount of water, that is fresh water, that is called as 3% fresh water, once it reaches to the soil, okay, so therefore it will slowly transfer into the valleys and the catchment area and various other the land sources, particularly some of the hilly regions, the slopy areas, and connected to the water bodies, that is called as rivers, ponds, lakes. So therefore, whatever the amount which is the water which is filled in the small areas, as well as natural as well as constructed water bodies, where the water which is collected, that is called as fresh water. The water which is very, very limited, very less amount of fresh water which is present in the fresh water, that is called in water bodies, lakes, rivers, as well as, and some of the water, again, I told you that the water which percolate ground and hidden, and that is the excess of amount of whatever the amount of water which is reached to the soil, it is directly percolated and reach to the subsurface and in the aquifers, and it will be collected, the groundwater. Again, the groundwater which is hidden in the earth. So therefore, whenever we want, people are using. So therefore, that later we will discuss how this the surface water is also percolating and collected in the earth. It is more than the rivers, it is more than the surface water bodies, whatever we have preserved in this earth surface. Similarly, the water is also present in polar ice caps. You now know that it is still more than whatever the water which is in the liquid water which is present. It is more than that. It is present in the higher altitudes. And also the water is present in the atmosphere, that is called atmospheric water, the water which is called as the evaporated water. The water is present in 3 different forms. One is liquid, one is evaporation, particularly gaseous form, another one is solid form. So therefore, it is very interesting that I think this is the only substance in this planet, the water is transformed into 3 different forms, and today is because of that, maybe the life is survived, life is sustained, and the earth is sustained, the life is because of the water, the chemistry, which is very, very important. Because the water chemistry, which is hydrogen and oxygen, and it evaporates, the molecules are transferred, okay, can change the one form to another form. So therefore, this is a very, very important that then what happened, such a very important resource today, I think we are facing scarcity, and the water is not useful for drinking. The water is not useful for particularly making use for various other purposes, even for agriculture and also domestic purpose, industrial purpose, and whatever the water though water we have full of water, the surface water, even groundwater, but the water is not suitable for what is called as consumption. Water is not suitable for utilization. So therefore, so this is the reason that it is very, very important that what is the future, that how the water can be, the water quantitatively as well as qualitatively, which we have to manage in order to support the society, the life which is present in the planet. That is most important. One, I think we the people, which we should think that otherwise in future, if the water which is not suitable for life supporting, it is very, very difficult that no life is going to survive. So in this connection, we have to see that the water should not be degraded and contaminated, and the water should be useful for various purposes. So this is what is called as I would like to bring it to the notice to you in detail about the sustainable management of water resources, so that please always be with me in order to know more about the water resources. Are you following, my dear students? Students,
Yes,
my
sir.
dear,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
my
Yes,
dear
sir.
faculty members, sorry, I used to say that students. No, because you're all faculty members.
No, sir, we are students only, sir.
Yeah, because while teaching, no, this is the how it used to be used. That okay. See, you know that how these the water bodies, not simply everywhere there is no water bodies. Maybe number of water bodies you can expect only in the Western Ghats, in hilly regions where the rainfall is very high. Okay, so therefore Western Ghats plays very important role to originate the lot of the small streams, rivers, lakes, and so therefore today it is directly linked with the forest cover as well as the atmosphere, the environment, climate. It is directly linked with the hydrological, the precipitation. So therefore, so that when we are destroying the catchment area, when we destroying the forest, when we destroying the environmental, the atmospheric environment, definitely we will going to face the climate change impact. So therefore, Western Ghats feeds large number of streams, rivers, lakes, and wetlands. So therefore, these are the one of the hotspot zones where the Eastern Ghat, Western Ghat, and Himalayan regions. So these are the areas where once the rainfall reach to the earth, it collects water and forms rivers. And today it is connected the entire world. So therefore, people are making use of these resources in a sustainable, for the development, for the growth, for the economic development, for the not only economic development, for the agricultural development, for industrial development. Today, the world is developed is because of the water resources abundantly, which we are supplying to the society, public. So therefore, if there is no water resources, where the people are very poor and people economy is also, I think, go down, and the growth of the economy as well as the civilization will not be improved. So therefore, the water plays very, very important. That's what I think water is becoming a central issue in this new period. So therefore, I think you may be knowing that it is an issue of agricultural issue, it is a social issue, water is a social issue, water is a political issue, water is an ecological issue, water is an economic issue, and it's also a spiritual issue. So therefore, in this way, that the water we have to give respect and honor in order to conserve in future for our generation to come. So that is the reason the word what I have used, sustainable management of water resources. I told you, though we have enough water, I think you all know that the large quantity of water, which is, though it is present, it is more than 70%, 97%, isn't it? So it is in ocean. So the water is not useful. So only 3%, which is what is called as the rivers, this fresh water, which is only useful for mankind, for production of agriculture use, for industrial use, for domestic use, for various purposes. So therefore, which we have to conserve and manage the water without any impact on these water resources. So therefore, that is the reason it is a very finite resource and very limited resource. Why we have to be, what happened is because of the human interaction, human involvement, and because of the urbanization, because of the industrialization, because of the agricultural unscientific method of agriculture, and using a lot of pesticides, a lot of chemical fertilizers, and today the water bodies are completely degraded. That's what we will going to discuss later. So freshwater ecosystem, that is most important, that suppose, see, this is, you can see when there is a water body, you can see later, I think in the second lecture, I will discuss about wetlands. Every living thing on earth needs water to survive. Nearly 100,000 species need a special kind of water, fresh water. So therefore, the life which is dependent on these freshwater, the thing of 100,000 species, if you're going to survive. So therefore, it is depends on that. It is evolved and it is sustained in this earth, both plants and animals. So therefore, lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and wetlands are the main source of the support of wetland, biodiversity which is present. And freshwater resources in India, what it is, I would like to say that India accounts for only 2.5% of the world's surface area. And India has about 4% of world's freshwater resources and 16% of the world population. So because of this, India accounts only 2.5%, but the freshwater resource is very, very limited, and 16% of the world population, we are depending on these freshwater resources. So how we are sustainably utilizing the resources, that is the question today. So therefore, I think we have discussed this. The water is a finite and irreplaceable resource. So there is no other substitute for water. This is the only water we can use for every development of the humankind and for life sustenance. And it is a fundamental to human well-being. And it is a core sustainable development. And it is, I told you, it is a point of socio-economic development. It will help. And healthy ecosystems today, the ecosystems, whether it is the life which is present in a healthy, is because of the healthy water quality and human survival, mainly because of the potable water what we are supplying, good quality water we are supplying. If the water we are supplying, the polluted water, contaminated water, the water which is having more of toxicants, more of heavy metals, more of the pesticides, so therefore people get affected, and the health problems is going to be severe. So in that connection today, I think number of diseases, the waterborne diseases is increasing. Later we will discuss you how this water quality degradation will going to directly impact on the human health. So therefore, that is also most important. So one should understand that why these water resources are, whether it is particularly from our Indian point of view, which we have to take into notice that the population density as well as the resources. So if you take the population density of India in 2024 is nearly 438.58 people per square kilometer, a 0.92% increase from 23. So it is directly from every decade the population is increasing. And population density of India in 2023 was 434.60 people per square kilometer, and 0.81% increase from 2022. So therefore, the demand of water is high because we have to produce the agricultural products, and we have to supply to the food, and it is a very, very important. People depend on these water resources. So without these water resources, I think we are under scarcity of food resources also. So there is a direct link between the agricultural production and water availability and good water availability. And the water, particularly availability of water in the surface level. So that is most important, that the surface water, agricultural, the water which is not useful for the ocean water is not useful for agriculture, only surface water, otherwise groundwater. So therefore, this is what is called as today we are facing water demand. Hello, student, my dear faculty members.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you
Yes,
following?
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Okay, okay.
I think you can see the slide population
Yes, sir.
part. So see the population is how it is drastically increasing, and so therefore the people who depends on the water, the lifestyle is also changed, and the technology is changed. Advancement of water availability to every room, every house, every person, so that people are the water is using. Coming to agriculture, I told you, so one of the thirstiest consumer of water globally is agriculture, because we need to produce agricultural goods to the humankind, to supply to the food systems, whether it is vegetables, whether it is cereals, whether it's grains, whether it is fruits, or whatever it may be. So entire thing we need to what is called as supply water for the cultivation of agricultural products. Nearly 70% of water withdrawals worldwide is going to agricultural purpose. And rain-fed agriculture is the predominant agricultural production system around the world. By 2050, the world agriculture will need to produce 60% more food globally and 100% more in developing countries. This is a very, very important point. One, we should know that I think it is very closely, we are waiting for this another 25 years. We need to produce 60% more food globally and 100% more in developing countries. So that it is a lot of water demand, what we are need to be depend on this. So therefore, where we will get water, that is also which we should think. Coming to water is very, very important for the water, sanitation, hygiene. I think you know that wash. So therefore, domestic sector accounts 10% of total water use. Okay, so worldwide, an estimated 760 million, 8 million people were without access to an improved source of water. Only few people where the water, the rain-fed area, people get access of water, but most of the areas, people in the worldwide, they are nearly more than 768 million people were without access to an improved source of water. Means the water is not suitable for consumption, suitable for utilization, suitable for drinking, and suitable for even agriculture. So therefore, in future, 2.5 billion remain without access to improved sanitation. And coming to the wetlands, it is present in this earth, and wherever there is a good source of the water which is accumulate in a geographical different geographical areas. So this water this is a very, very important that people neglected. These water bodies are nowadays it is eutrophicated, the water which is not suitable for consumption. So wetlands not only support high concentration of biodiversity, but also offer wide range of important resources and ecological functions such as food, water, fiber, groundwater recharge, water purification, flood moderation, storm protection, erosion control, carbon storage, and climate regulation. If one small water body, which what is called helps in this planet Earth in a different and a numerous way, it provides various support to the mankind. Another very interesting, why we need to conserve these small water bodies like wetlands is because of, see, one of the Myristica swamp. This is one of the swamp which is located in Karnataka because I am present in the Western Ghat region. This Myristica swamp, one of the wetland which is present in the forest region, that is supported 16 species of freshwater fishes with 3 species of endemic to the Western Ghats and 21 reptiles, including 13 species of snakes, is all endemic. The Malabar pit viper and Gunther's supple skink are the only reptiles endemic to the Western Ghats. So if you degrade this such type of the habitats, if you disturb such type of habitats, so that we are losing such a one of the pristine, important the endemic species, endemic the biological life. So therefore, one should not neglect the wetlands. Means it is simply the wasteland or the water which is simply flowing, and that is the reason these water bodies are very, very important for the sustain of the ecological point of view. And also, you know that once these water bodies are present in and around a small water bodies like lakes, ponds, rivers, and these water bodies, I think you're all familiar that it is produce a lot of the very important fish diversity, the people who depend on these. So freshwater is also, fish is also part of the history and culture in the Western Ghats since several centuries, and they are intricately linked to the daily life of millions of rural people. So that is what I told you, it is an economic resource. So the water bodies, which is the fresh water body, which is present in a small area in and around in the geographical condition area of the surrounding habitats, where the resources are abundant, and that we are not exploited. People now, we are exploiting these habitats. That's what we are facing, the issue of water scarcity. That's the reason that I would like to bring it to you. And what are the threats to wetlands, water bodies? One is we are cutting habitat destruction and fragmentation. We are encroaching these forests, encroaching the water bodies, and dumping of solid waste, dumping of industrial effluents, dumping of the what is called as sewage, and runoff of agricultural waste materials, and urbanization and industrialization, entire waste water is enter into these water bodies, and we are expanding the agricultural area by encroaching the such type of water bodies, and the water bodies are eutrophicated. I think many of you are not familiar about those who are biological students, biological science students. You are all familiar because of increasing of nutrients, and the water is converted into eutrophication, and anthropogenic activities and the human impact activities, invasion of exotic species like salvinia and various other the macrophytes invaded and occupied the water body. It is not suitable. The entire water is not suitable for future use. So this is what is called as the status of water bodies at present. People, because of the people neglected the water bodies, and the people are not knowing the value of the resources. So therefore, the groundwater recharge is diminishing, and the collection of water in the surface level is also reduced, is because of the siltation, and various problems, human impact that causes the water body is died, the water body is dried. That is the reason. Though we have water bodies, but there is no water source in the region. That is need to be taken into care of. What I would like to bring it to you. I think, my dear friends, all of you are following.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So coming to water and urbanization, you all know that why it is, you know that nowadays urbanization is expanding. It is more than 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, and Calcutta, like that, and other countries. So therefore, we need to supply water, and there is no source of water in the urban areas where we have to supply the water from the source where it is in the Western Ghats or the wherever the rivers are originated. And therefore, a lot of the stress today what we are facing and economic burden, and people are which we need to supply to the millions of people who are residing in the urban areas. So that is one of the major issue today, where because people they need only fresh water as well as the water it is soft water. Though the water which is present in the ground, where in the urbanization people maybe sometimes maybe not suitable because that contains a lot of hardness, that of maybe fluoride, that may be some iron may be there, some maybe the arsenic may be there. So therefore, because the groundwater is not that much suitable for drinking purpose, but people expecting to supply the water from the surface water bodies, particularly riverine water bodies, lake ecosystems, and reservoirs. So today, that's what it is a lot of the stress to the transfer of the water to from longer distance, from hundreds of kilometers, thousands of kilometers, in order to supply to the urban areas. So that is where we are having a scarcity of water problems. The demand is high, scarcity is also more, and people are not getting access to the water, good quality water. So therefore, that's what I would like to, you can, by 2050, it is expected that more than 2/3 of the global population of 9 billion will be living in cities. Therefore, the development of water resources for economic growth, social equity, environmental sustainability will be closely linked with the sustainable development of cities. So therefore, it is the right which every individual, every human being is a right in order to get the good quality water. So therefore, where today we are, I think in the news, in the media, where we are, I think it is, they are showing that the water is not available. People are maybe even once in a week and 15 days in a week, the water is supplied to the people, and people get, yeah, some of the industries are closed. I think in the recent summer months in Bangalore, industries are closed, and people ask them to work in a home, okay, because of no water is available, and it is not supply, it is very big problem. And also, it is a big issue, it is a big market, water industries today, by supplying untreated water, and the water is not suitable for drinking. Even then, the people are supplying the water, and it is one of the economic issue today, and people are earning because of the water. And water and domestic sector, I think you can see there is a one water tank reached to the place. People are thronged into the area where people are not getting water. People are completely depend on them. The government and local panchayat. So the water is not available, and is because of the water resources are completely diminished. It is degraded. It is not conserved, restored. So therefore, people today, what we are facing, 2.5 billion remain without access to improved sanitation in domestic sector. And water and climate change. There, I think you're all familiar. it is most important. All of you are well known that the climate change impact. So therefore, the temperature is rising, and the water is evaporating. All the water, when the water temperature is reached to the 40, entire water in the surface, particularly during summer season, suddenly disappears. The water go completely dry. So the people are really struggle like in order to consume water for drinking and domestic purposes. So therefore, this is also one of the impact what we are already facing and we are experiencing the climate change, because the water bodies, because of the high temperature, extreme temperature in the semi-arid regions, the water is completely removed, and the groundwater recharge also, groundwater exploited, and even also groundwater is also not so available to them. So therefore, because of the climate change impact, this is also one which already we have facing the issue. It is one of the critical complex issue what all of us need to know this. And coming to the safe drinking water, why we have to supply a safe drinking water to the mankind in order to for the welfare of the health and welfare of the people. So the most important one is the water should be free from any color, free from the turbidity, free from pesticides, free from any other what is called as the microbes, pathogens. So therefore, we need to supply the good quality water for the health of the to maintain the health of the people. So therefore, access to clean and safe drinking water is a fundamental human right. Yet millions of people worldwide still lack reliable access to it. So though we have the government is installed, developed treatment plants, but in many of the rural areas, in many of the taluka level, still people are not getting good quality water. People are consuming water with full of fluoride. Okay, the fluoride level is high in some of the areas, particularly in Karnataka, where we have studied the fluoride level is more than 9 ppm. So therefore, people are the health of the people get affected. I will show you some of the photographs later, I think. Household and drinking water. So I think we all depends on this, the water, wells, bore wells and taps, other than the supply. I think nowadays this type of the resources are neglected, and we are fully depending on the public water supply, and therefore in the water bodies, the people who are completely depend on this, such type of the local open wells, and people now it is neglected. See, in one of the village in Karnataka, we see the people are suffering from the fluoride, and it is high because there is no surface water source for them, and people has to completely depend on groundwater. The groundwater of that particular area having more of fluoride, and it is more than 9. The permissible limit is only 1.5, but it is more than the 9 ppm is there. See, the people are directly, the whole village are suffering from skeletal fluorosis and the dental fluorosis. So I think, my dear friends, are you following?
Yes,
Friends
sir, we are
following?
following.
Okay, following,
yes,
no?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
am.
Now coming to the requirement, see what is the quantity of the requirement of water which need to be supplied to the entire the human population. That is most important. What is the amount of water which we have, and still what is the scarcity? So that is in India, current utilizable water resource potential approximately taking into consider the ponds, rivers, lakes, and groundwater, everything 1172 square kilometer per year. Okay, so therefore, the surface water 690 cubic kilometer per year, groundwater 432 kilometer a year is significantly lower than the anticipated water requirement. And water scarcity has far-reaching environmental, economic, and social consequences, making it a pressing concern for sustainable development and global well-being. So today is because we are facing water scarcity and water demand. So therefore, this is also one of the environmental issue as well as economic issue and social consequences are facing, okay, making it a pressing concern for sustainable and global well-being. So that's the reason I would like to show you some of the important scarcity issues, water scarcity is issues. So water is indispensable to human life. Competition over water use may lead to conflict and sometimes violence. You know, see, I think now we are all facing everywhere people are the quarreling. There is a conflict is there from one source of water from one country to country, state to state, and one gram panchayat to another gram panchayat. Okay, and people to people, we are facing what is called as the conflict as well as the violence is because of the water. That's what I think you're all famous. Many people used to say that in future, if there is any war, is only for because of the water. I think we are facing that, we are experiencing that. I think without knowing such cold wars is going on because of the water availability is very scarce. So that's what. So water scarcity is inextricably linked to human rights, and sufficient access to safe drinking water is a priority for global development. And population growth changes in weather patterns. Many countries and major cities worldwide, both wealthy and poor, faced increasing water scarcity in the 21st century. That I think we are all familiar. I think if you go through some newspapers, if you go to media and TV news, every time, every day, there is such type of the negative problems what we are experienced is because of the water stress problems. I think, see, nearly 50% of India faces high to extremely high water stress, and 54% of India's groundwater wells are decreasing, and more than 100 million people live in areas of poor water quality. See, this is the very interesting study what carried out and shows that with the help of this map, nearly 100 million people live in areas of poor water quality. Though the water is available, the water is not suitable for consumption and even also for taking bath, even also for domestic purpose. And so therefore, we used to depend on the such type of the tank supply water in the rural areas and urban areas. Most important one is why the water scarcity what we are facing. That is, one of the scarcity what we are facing is physical water scarcity. What is that physical water scarcity? 2/3 of the world's population lives in areas subject to seasonal water scarcity at least 1 month of the year. Population increase and weather patterns become more unpredictable and outcome. So this is the unpredictable and extreme. So because of the physical water scarcity, because the water sources are not available in areas, and there is no ponds, rivers, lakes, and groundwater sources. So therefore, that is also one. And economic water scarcity is due to lack of water infrastructure. Economic water scarcity can result from unregulated water use for agriculture or industry. So that is also one of the economic water scarcity. And what are the root causes of the water crisis in India is rooted in a combination of factors, including over-exploitation of groundwater. I think I told you the groundwater is the other source, alternative source of surface water where people depend on the agricultural cultivation, and people who are drilling bore wells every, I think, every 1 kilometer, every half kilometer, and people exploiting water resources from morning to evening. They pump water for the cultivation of crops, and inadequate rainwater harvesting, and whatever the rainwater harvesting, what the technology what we are not following, and traditional practices also not following, and mismanagement of water sources. People are not aware, and people are not knowing about the importance of the water resources, and they are mismanaging, wasting of water. So that is also root causes of water crisis. And in addition to that, the very important that the water what we have, that water is not suitable is because water is polluted, pollution of water bodies in efficient and inefficient agricultural irrigation methods further exacerbate the issue, leading to reduced water availability and quality. Most of the surface water bodies, rivers, lakes, even in groundwater, unsuitable for utilization and the water contaminated, and because of the human activity and the industrial activity and agricultural activities. So therefore, that is also one of the major impact. So coming to impact of communities and health, because of the lack of access to clean water, impact health contributing to waterborne diseases. So most of the diseases contributed is because of the depends on the water. If the water is contaminated with the E. coli, and if any turbidity is present, if the water is having present some of the fluoride, arsenic, and the surface water is contaminated with the nitrates and phosphates and various other the excess values of the physical, chemical, and biological contaminants, so directly affected. So therefore, water, the clean water, the water, liquid quality water must be free from the color, and free from turbid, and free from all some of the contaminants. Then only the water is suitable for consumption. So therefore, I think this is also one of the main issue that today I think we are women and girls often bear the burden of fetching water for over long distance, limiting educational and economic opportunities. So is because people who always depends on the water fetching from long distance, people who always depends on carrying water from one area to another area, who are completely restricted to the particularly collecting water. I think they are losing their educational and economic opportunities. So this is also what they are facing in some of the areas in India as well as in the other water stress regions. I think we have discussed about the climate change, and one of the incident what I would like to give in Karnataka. I think one of the village that is, I think if you please read this, it's a very interesting story in Karnataka near Chitradurga. These because of the water pollution, the water is contaminated, that affected the people died. Vimalamma only once Raghu left Kavadigara Hatti in Chitradurga district in central Karnataka on July 31 after having lunch with family. He worked in a private firm in Bangalore, where he looked after the delivery of home appliances. Within hours of reaching Bangalore, the 26-year-old developed diarrhea and vomiting. So by chance, he came to his native place and he consumed the contaminated water, and distant relatives who stay in the same locality took him to clinic, but his condition did not improve. So therefore, a person died, and there are a number of people died is because of diarrhea in the entire small rural village. So therefore, see, this is the government is additionally they have allocated, arranged the other water source for drinking purpose. So see the water tank, you can see here the water is, it is not completely systematically managed, not maintained hygienically, and the water is contaminated with the E. coli and various other problems, maybe some dead bodies or maybe other waste. It is completely contaminated with continuous the exposure to the long distance. So this is what is called the incidents you can experience everywhere in rural areas because people are not taking care of the importance of the water quality. I think students, my dear faculty, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Yes, sir.
following?
Yes, sir. We are following.
Yeah. So by 2030, the world will need 40% more water and 50% more energy. Okay. Water is under pressure from factors such as rising population, pollution and droughts, floods, and heat waves linked to global warming. This is also another way of what we are facing. I think you're all familiar. This every day you can read the newspapers, the problem which what the community we are facing, isn't it? And diminished food and water supplies. See, this is the condition when there is no food, there is no rainfall, severe droughts and loss of soil fertility affects food and water supplies. It leads to diseases, malnutrition, starvation, and ultimately death. So if your health is good, person is always economically strong, and overall it is because of the water resources. So therefore, that is most important. One should not neglect the water resources in future. Okay, so 1/4 of the global population face extremely high water stress each year, regularly using up almost their entire available water supply, and at least 50% of the world population, around 4 billion people, live under highly water stress conditions for at least 1 month of the year. I think all the time is not water is not available, and demand for water is rising owing to rapid population growth, urbanization, and increasing water needs from agriculture, industry, and energy sectors. So energy sectors, industry sectors, so they consume more water today. That's what I think we are facing a scarcity of water resources. And see, this is the condition in some of the undeveloped countries, where in sewage treatment in wealthier countries of Europe generally equal or surpass in the US. In urban areas of South America, Africa, and Asia, 90% of all sewage is discharged untreated into rivers. Even in India also, even today, most of the rivers are receiving a lot of sewage, untreated effluents, untreated wastewater. That's what in the downstream, the people who are getting consuming the same water for drinking get affected. Okay, so across the world, the demand for water is exceeding globally. Demand has more than doubled since 1960 because of the population, because of the growth, development, because of the various sectors, development of industries and industry, livestock, energy production, and everything. Meanwhile, lack of investment in water infrastructure, unsustainable water use policies are increased, variability due to climate change can all affect available water supply. Countries are currently exposed to extremely high water stress annually. I think you can see here, this map, it indicates the most water stress regions are in the Middle East and North America, Africa, where 83% of the population is exposed to extremely high water stress, and South Asia, where 74% is exposed. I think in India also we are same, we are following. And coming to national water stress rankings, coming to the what is the ranking in country in 2019, they studied extremely high. That is, these are the countries: India 25, okay, 24, Syria 25. Okay. So I think this is the condition in future. I told you by 2050, additional 1 billion people are expected to live with extremely high water stress. Even if the world limit global temperature rise to 1.3 degrees Celsius to 2.4 degrees, so therefore by 2100, an optimistic scenario will going to be experienced. So coming to the Bangalore water crisis, I think we all know that Bangalore is growing faster People migrate from all over the country. People, it is an ITPT city, and continuously, yes. Okay. So therefore, the water's demand is high. People are increase the tenfold rise in concrete structures, shrank water surface by 80%. One of the study carried out by IASC, also given in Bangalore water crisis. I would like to give you one of the statistics. The city's 262 lakes in 1961 dwindled to just 81 in 2020, of which only 33 are living. So many lakes today it is completely disappeared is because of the expansion of the cities and converted into the developmental purpose and construction of the buildings. So there are 14,000 bore wells, of which 6,900 have dried. So though bore well is there, the water is not available. The water is not reached to the upper surface. So water bodies have been encroached or dried. Bangalore needs 2,600 MLD water. Out of this, 1,470 MLD comes from Kaveri River and 650 MLD from bore wells. Shortage about 500 MLD. So therefore, where we have to bring 500 MLD, still every day the population is going to rise, and we have to supply the water. And this is what is called as the future the water scarcity will going to be faced by the people in urban areas, particularly in the metropolitan cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Calcutta, Mumbai, everything. Okay, student, my dear faculty members, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We are following.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir, yes.
And one of the, I would like
Ji,
to,
sir.
yeah, one of the industry in Bangalore, I think you can see this slide. Rail wheel factory in Karnataka, Yelahanka, shows how to become water rich. So they themselves sustained. Okay, the water is the sustained environmental friendly practices. They developed. They required 2 lakh liters per day for its factory, saving rupees 20.65 lakh per annum in water bills. So therefore, such a way that anything is possible if the company having a concern, what is called environmental concern, and water sustainable management practices, eco-friendly practices, and importance of the water resources. So therefore, definitely they can go for restoring the water bodies, whatever given in groundwater or surface water, that is possible. Though it is in Bangalore, but see, the water is restored, and enough water is available for them, for their industry, they can make goods. So this is, instead of depending on the public, the water resource, they themselves self-sustain. That is also most important. One should follow sustainable management practices of every individual companies. Okay, so this is what is called as one of the interesting study what carried out water scarcity and conflicts, Syria. So the 1.5 million people internally displaced because of the 2006 to 2011 drought. Okay, so because there is no food, there is no water, and people displaced. And in March 2011, anti-Assad revolution erupts, and we contributed to conflict. For example, in Syria, a severe drought from 6 to 11 led to rain of hundreds of thousands of small-scale farmers who emigrated to the outskirts of major cities, contributing to the pressure leading to revolution and continuing civil conflict. So I think this is the condition what the country is facing. Okay, and again, you all know that conflicts between river, conflict between Kaveri from Tamil Nadu and the Karnataka, and likewise the China and India, particularly on sharing of water about the Brahmaputra river. So that all these things are what we are all, still it is not yet clarified. And the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is there. I think you're all familiar. And dispute over water in the Kaveri Basin in India. Okay, it's a long-standing conflict over water from the Kaveri River between the Indian states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, has recently resurfaced in the context of drier climate conditions. Every time, okay, it is because of the Kaveri water, there is a conflict and strikes, a lot of violence. Okay, people loss, government loss, the losing various other uh, the the property and problems arising, and it is one of the technical political problem arising, and it's a social problem. It is also the spiritual problems and economic problems. So these implications are not only legal battles but also violent protest following decisions to alter water distribution system in the two states. And India and Bangladesh pertaining to the sharing of the waters, the Tista River, which originates in the Himalaya and flows through Sikkim and West Bengal, we emerge with the Brahmaputra in Assam and Jamuna in Bangladesh is perhaps the most contentious issue between two friendly neighbors, India and Bangladesh. Also, it is continuing. India and Pakistan water dispute is there, okay, and the droughts and heat waves, particularly during summer season, and the problem is commonly we can experience in most of the Indian and many other countries. And most important one is which need to understand the sustainable goal. I think you know that there are 17 goals. So the goal 6, particularly it is pertaining to the sustainable management of water resources. One of the most important factors to build an inclusive society and to achieve sustainable management. So this goal ensure availability of sustainable management, water and sanitation for all. Okay, so therefore governments and public and individually, everybody should think of in order to meet the demand of water resources, both qualitatively and quantitatively.
I think network issue.
Yes, sir. Sir is not audible.
Yes, yes.
Hello, sir.
सरांचा काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम दिसतोय सर.
हो हो हो.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर की.
तो आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी. वेट वेट वेट.
I think sir is remote.
कोई टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम होगा.
Gaurav sir, please rejoin.
नेटवर्क इश्यू होगा इसलिए लिफ्ट हो गया.
यस यस यस.
हाँ हेलो गौरव सर. गौरव सर. हाँ हेलो गौरव सर.
महाले सर कॉल कीजिए आप सर को, आपको होस्ट है. हेलो.
Wait, Gaurav sir is our phone.
Sir has joined now.
हेलो। सर आपका माइक आप अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं।
Now it is visible, no?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Thank you, thank you. Some problem was happened. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
the technical problem. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Large. Madam. Yeah. Okay, I think.
Yes, sir. It's okay.
Shall we continue?
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಏನು Okay. So goal 6 that explains ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So all these very important the objectives they have given. By 2030, achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. So likewise, there are various important statements, objectives that they are given. Accordingly, the government must follow, must provide the facilities to the stakeholders to sustainable management of water for every individual. Okay, so this is the one most sustainable management goal, provides the people getting the drinking water, safe drinking water, and good quality water for domestic use, and safe water for various other purposes. So therefore, I think somehow we are achieving slowly, and till today, still it is need to be manages sustainable management of water resources. And I think you all are familiar that recently in 24 itself, there is a World Water Day celebrated, and the theme of the water is given water for peace. I think this is a very important. One should understand that why they have the theme is selected such a very water for peace, because stress of water scarcity, violence, and drought prone areas, and water is not available, and good quality water is also not supplied to the public. So therefore, in future, it should not be any war, it should not be any violence, it should not be any quarrels, but the water should be shared, one country to another country, one area to another area, one person to another person, and wherever the water resources you have, the water should conserve, and that should be shared. Agricultural development, economic development, social development, and overall development of the country. Okay, I think water for peace is the theme, which really very attractive, very useful in today's world. One should understand that we need peace, not war, not violence. I think this World Water Day celebrates water and inspires action to tackle the global water crisis. The core focus of World Water Day is to support the achievement of Sustainable Development Goal 6, water and sanitation for all by 2030. So the many projects, I think you know that Grama Nirmalya and water for every individual, water for the piped water is connected to the every household is the project is implementing by the central government and state government, and even then still it is not achieved. Think of that good quality water, safe water, liters, at least for the welfare of the people, for the daily use, it is need of the hour in order to live happily in this country. Okay, so coming to better management of our water resource, secure future. This is a very important that, of course, now we understood that availability of water is there, but we are not unsustainably managed, exploited, and the water is polluted, and water is polluting, and water is not useful for many purposes, even for ecological ecosystem is not sustaining because of the increasing of excessive load of contaminants which we dump into the water bodies. So therefore, in future, because of the excessive load of the contaminants enter into the water bodies. So that has to be prevented and controlled, and treated water only need to be supplied for the restoring the water bodies. So therefore, protecting and restoring wetlands, mangroves, and forests cannot only improve water quality and build resilience against droughts and floods, but also save money on water treatment costs. So this is very, very important. One should understand that. I think if you when there is a river flowing, when they are full of the rich forest habitat, where you can see the water is clear, pristine, crystal clear water, free from any contaminants, and so therefore no turbid content is present. So therefore, the water wherever you are getting, without any industrial areas, without any agricultural disturbance, where the water is located and collected, the water in surface water bodies, particularly rivers, the water is crystal clear and very free from pollution. So therefore, so that can avoid, we can save money instead of spending too much of crores of money for treatment costs. So nature itself is what is called as treat the water by self-treating, self-purification mechanism. So therefore, in most of the rivers nowadays, that self-purification capacity is disturbed is because of the human act. Are you following? Dear students, dear friends, following? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, we are here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is the solution? I think now the problem what we discussed, and one what was understood, we should think of solutions. Then only it is possible for in order to achieve the water availability and supply of water to the every individual in this rural and urban areas. So therefore, addressing water scarcity requires a multidisciplinary approach. So therefore, a lot of research is required, and one has to study the quality of the aspect, quantity aspect, and where the problem arises, and what are the solutions which we need to bring into the notice to the government, and what are the legislations which is most important in order to change the alternative way of the providing the water solution, water supply to the people. So therefore, it is a very, very important. So water resources must be managed with goal of equitably maximizing economic and social welfare without compromising ecosystem functioning. So this is a very, very important that all the habitats, the equitably supply, the water should be supplied with safe water, and the agricultural imbalance should not be happen. Whatever the amount of water generated and conserved, the water should be supplied to the. That's what many of the rivers nowadays in the upper river project, upper Tunga project, upper Bhadra project, likewise in our area. So that therefore, in order to supply to the longer distance where the water scarcity problems are there in the urban areas, rural areas, and the water is carrying from such a long distance with the help of developmental projects. So therefore, this is also one of the most important. And number of environmental, economic, and engineering solutions have been proposed or implemented worldwide. Public education is undoubtedly key for water conservation efforts. All public and environmental policy must utilize sound science for the implementation of sustainable resource management initiatives. Till today, the public awareness is very, very poor, and people may not be knowing about the quality and conservation of water, and the judicial use of water. So therefore, that is mostly, even in agriculture, the farmers are not using judicially based on the crop. So that also be learned and understood. Then only it is possible to keep the water the entire and environmental policy. So that is most important, that the preservation and restoration of ecosystems that naturally colors and forests is a key strategy in the fight against water scarcity. So that's what I told you. Many water bodies today, I think it is as a sewage. I think in Bangalore there is one of the river flowing, the water supplied for the people, but today it is a river is called as Rishbhavati. The river is full of sewage river. It is full of sewage, and you can't go there, and it is a very anesthetic, and the foul smell getting, and because of this river, the underground water is disturbed, contaminated, and surrounding the paddy fields and various other agricultural fields also contaminated because of the carrying so much of the contaminants from the industries and various other urban system. So this is what is happening. So therefore, we have to restore the ecosystems and see that the water can be collected and maintained in a clean, safe water. And natural areas, however, are often not evaluated with their ecological importance in mind and are destroyed or degraded for more immediate economic benefits. Urban planning and sustainable development must prioritize the conservation and restoration of wild lands adjacent to urban areas and properly value the ecosystem services they provide. Understanding the value of the ecosystems, I think we are not knowing about the importance of the ecosystems. So therefore, in future, whatever the value of the wetland ecosystems, the water bodies, which we need to be evaluated economically, what is the benefit it will give it to the mankind. So therefore, accordingly, which need to be neglected, which should not be neglected and need to be conserved. And engineering technologies is only option that in future that rainwater harvesting for non-potable functions such as gardening and washing clothes can significantly reduce both demand and public freshwater supplies and the strain on stormwater infrastructure Okay, so therefore, I think nowadays, I think rooftop water harvesting and rainwater harvesting in agricultural lands, agricultural, the nurseries and institutions, industries. Okay, and it is also taking, I think this is engineering technology plays very important role in order to conserve water resources and reducing the burden of water. Coming to the economic and social solutions, are you following? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
58 roll number,
Yes, sir.
please mute yourself. 58 roll number.
Wait, madam, I mute him.
Yeah. Okay, no disturbance.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Continue, sir.
Yes,
No
sir.
disturbance.
Sir, please continue.
So it is very important that uses for recycled water. So today I think the wastewater is not a wastewater; it is a also resource. I think in Bangalore, I think the entire Bangalore city wastewater is recycled and pumped into the filling up the water bodies, lakes. The water is using for further recharging of groundwater as well as utilizing for agriculture purposes. It is also possible when if you treat properly, that too it is by the scientific way. I think this is also possible. The wastewater is not simply a waste, and the water is the sewage water is successfully utilizing. It can be possible for agriculture, and we can use for landscape use. We can use for public parks and golf courses, irrigation. So lot of water is required.
Sir, can you take previous slide? Engineering technologies.
Previous, sir?
Yes. Engineering technologies.
Or this
Yes.
one, no?
Earlier. 69.
Engineering technologies, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So I told you engineering technologies like rainwater harvesting for non-potable functions. Okay, we can develop wherever it is required. Even nowadays, I think most of the cities they are adopted the rainwater harvesting system. Particularly in Tamil Nadu, it is every government employee is compulsory to implement rainwater harvesting. Sorry. Okay.
Sir, please, you have water.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. So that we can reduce the demand on public freshwater supplies. If you are instead of during rainy season, whatever the water which is available, rainwater is available, that can be collected and can be used, so that we can save the dependence of the water can be avoided. Okay, are you okay? Shall we go to next?
Okay, sir. It's okay now.
Then economic and social solutions. A number of studies have shown that higher water prices reduce water waste and pollution and can serve to fund water infrastructure improvements. Okay, so therefore, price increase are publicly and politically unpopular in most places, and policymakers must be careful to consider how much increase may affect the poor. So this is also one of the problem that today, because of the water and wastewater, we are there is a okay. People are higher water price, reduce water waste and pollution. So I think though natural water, we have to pay a price that is a burden to the society. That should not be again continued. So that is the reason. And rainwater harvesting, I think I told you, nearly Bangalore city receives annual rainfall 700 to 850 milliliters, so that later we can go for rainwater harvesting. Most of the water problems can be controlled, avoided by rainwater harvesting during rainy season, and that is also one of the solutions. Efficient irrigation techniques is very, very important, and water recycling can contribute sustainable water management. Community awareness and participation are crucial for conserving water resources and implementing effective solutions. So these are the innovative solutions need to be addressed. One should follow both private and government sectors. So therefore that can be avoided. So other important solution is waste less water and subsidize water conservation. So this is the awareness one must understand. Okay, don't waste water and subsidize water conservation. Do not deplete aquifers. Preserve water quality. This is a very, very important. The water again for treatment also we are paying a lot of economic burden, and protect forests, wetlands, mountain, glaciers, watersheds, and other natural systems that store the and release water. If these natural resources are conserved, definitely we will get enough water. There is no doubt. So therefore, because of the disturbance of the encroachment, the catchment area, and the water which is not released to the reach to the wetlands, and therefore that problem is arises. And get agreement among regions and countries sharing surface water resources. Okay, there is a what is called as one-to-one relationship should be improved, and agreement with the sharing of one river to another river and one region to another region. It is a very, very important. One should not say that this water is ours and this water we are not supposed to be given to you. No, it is natural resources. The river is moving towards one area to another area. So therefore, it's the most important. And I think I don't think it rise water prices. It's not a very good what is solution. Slow population growth. It is all depends on the people. It is also very important. Population exponential growth of population. Definitely, they consume a lot of water, and demand may be there. And on the other hand, the pollution load is also high. And I think this is also one of the solution which need to be considered slowly. I think one has to understood person. It is an individual subject need to be understood. So therefore, watershed management is very, very important. Now watersheds are disturbed, and because of the encroachment, because of the deforestation, because of the developmental activities, okay, the watersheds are disturbed, and sound farming and forestry practices, and wetlands conservation, domestic conservation, and water reclamation and recycling. And today, whatever the water bodies are contaminated, and it is eutrophicated, that has to be reclaimed, and the pollution level should be reduced, and the restored, and that bring it to the original position, and so that it is also having possible in order to supply water. Okay, and it is water rights. It is every individual having the right to use safe water and required water. It is necessary to supply. It is the duty of the government. It is the responsibility of the administration to provide the safe water quality and quantity of water. So therefore, one resource, many interests and many stakeholders. See, this is the only water resource. I think the stakeholders are many, so that it is very, very important that for every way
सर पुन्हा डिस्कनेक्ट.
Yes. Network issue.
गौरव सर. गौरव सर. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅನೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ನೋಡೋಣ.
Hello? Hello, voice is not coming, sir.
Wait.
Yes, sir, voice is not coming.
Okay, now it's audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yeah, what about screen?
No,
No
sir.
screen is there.
Not
Not
visible.
yet visible.
No, it is because of the technical issue. Now I reach. Please ask.
Sir, give me 1 minute once.
Please ask the host to share. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವಾ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು
recording
ನಂದು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ
सर आपका माइक ऑन कीजिए सर नारायण सर आपका माइक ऑन कीजिए
Sir, give me 1 minute, sir. I'm sharing the screen. 1 minute, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir, bully. Supported document.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you share my
Yes, sir.
PPT? Can you share my PPT? I think who is sharing PPT?
Host.
You please inform.
Gaurav sir will share the PPT.
Yeah.
Gaurav sir.
Can you inform?
गौरव सर सरांना मदत करा जरा.
Stop video.
नारायण सर आपका माइक अनम्यूट कीजिए सर प्लीज।
Hello,
यस सर।
slides are visible?
सर आपका पावर पॉइंट ओपन कीजिए, पावर पॉइंट ओपन नहीं सर।
No PowerPoint, no?
यस।
It is not coming.
ओके सर।
Oh, 1 minute, please. ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅದು ಇಮೇಜ್ ಹ್ಮ್
Hello.
Sir, can you please confirm screen was sharing? Screen was visible.
Hello?
Hello.
Is it okay now? It is visible?
Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Thank you, thank you. Sorry for delay. It was because of the. Last year. Last year.
ಯಾರು
ಆಯ್ತು ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ Okay, I think we are coming to the end. My dear all the faculty members, sorry for delay. It was I think the online presentation always giving problems. Okay, are you following?
Yes, sir. We
Hello?
are following.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think last slide, residential wastewater use. I think this is a very interesting. One of my research student for MSc studies, what we carried out, that it is, of course, we use water for various purposes, for cooking and gardening, as well as for taking bath, and a lot of wastewater that can be produced. So therefore, every individual house, whatever the wastewater which produced in the outlet of the pipe, that can be collected and that can be treated very simple way by using pebbles, by using sand, by using some of the gravel, and so that it is connected to the pipe. And if you allow water for a week, all the contaminants, all the hard, see the total carbonates, bicarbonates, and nitrates, and bicarbonates, and various other nutrients will be removed, and so the color also removed. So therefore, that water can be used for gardening and reuse of the other purposes is also possible. So nowadays in urban areas, so large quantity of wastewater is produced. That water itself is appears to be like a river. If you go and observe in urban areas in like Bangalore, Delhi, and various other metropolitan cities, I think in canals the water flow like rivers. So this is the sewage which is increasing from morning to evening because of the consumption of water. Source is water is starting from 6 o'clock to around 10, and later maybe from 4 o'clock to up to 10 o'clock. We can see the load of sewage flow is high. So therefore, this can be avoided. One, if you have an interest, if you have a concern about to avoid to discharge the water to the sewers as well as underground sewers, and one can use the traditional method of utilizing the treat the water, used water into a purpose of utilizing our garden and various other purposes. So this is how what is called as we can sustain our water instead of disposing, instead of
discharging to the sewers. So this sewers again, it reach to the freshwater rivers, lakes, good quality water, and that will going to contaminate. I think this is how what is called as one must think of to reduce water, to reuse water, and also judicial use of water is also the most important. One must follow these principles: reducing, removing, reusing, and recovering of pollutants. Definitely, we can maintain sustainably the water, so that the water is not for our own generation, and for not only for utilizing, exploiting by me only. It has to be transferred to the other generation, other people, every generation, and all the people in the future earth, the people who live in this planet. Everybody must be shared the water resources with quality and quantity. It is the need of the hour, and it is the responsibility of every citizens, every government, and the government and non-governmental agencies should think further in future, okay, in order to think of sustainably, in order to transfer the water, share the water without any harmful to the uh, quality of the environment, quality of water. So with this, I think I'll wind up the first uh, uh, lecture. I hope are you understood? Are you? I think there may be some disturbance, but I hope you may be understood some of the important points what I've discussed in this lecture related to sustainable management of water resources. Isn't it? Can you please?
Yes, sir. It was a very informative session, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Definitely. Then shall we go for some 10 minutes breakup? Then we'll continue next class.
If you
Next,
want, sir.
yeah. Yes. Hello.
Sure,
Excuse
sir.
me.
We can
Yes,
take
sir.
break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, if you want.
Yeah. Another 5 minutes. Another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Break है sir.
Sir has taken break, sir.
Sir, is it screen visible, sir?
Hello. Dear friends.
हेलो सर।
Yes,
It
sir.
is
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Yeah.
One ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಲೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಲೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. Yeah, shall we move to second lecture?
Yes, sir. We can move.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It is a continuation of the water bodies. It is one of the other important topic, that is wetland biodiversity, values and sustainable management. This is the topic. I think we're all familiar what is called wetlands. I think you maybe heard about lakes, ponds, isn't it? I think you have seen, and
Yes,
everybody knows about lakes, isn't it? And whatever the life which is present in this wetlands, lakes and small ponds, which is providing to the surrounding people, society, both ecologically, scientifically, economically, spiritually, or whatever it may be. So these wetlands are neglected, and we are dumping solid waste. We are dumping unwanted the wastewater, and it is people think of that it is a wasteland. People neglected like anything. So therefore, that is the reason today such a pristine water bodies, whatever it is, people who depend for since ages for the survival, for the benefit of the collecting the beneficial resources from the water bodies, maybe people not known in recent days. So therefore, shall we discuss in detail about what is the importance of such small water bodies having supported biodiversity, and is because of the wetlands present in this earth, the life which is diversified, which is supported in the water bodies, is a very, very interesting. That has to be need to be protected instead of losing the wetlands, instead of destroying the wetlands, instead of what is called as neglecting the wetlands. So therefore, the topic what I would like to introduce to you. Okay. So similarly, for any water body need a catchment area, the water is collected, and I think it will going to be, this is a depressed area where the water is collected from the rainwater and collect the water. It is called as sea. So once this water is collected, it helps to recharge, okay, continuously to the ground. Once, if there are lakes, if there are wetlands, in wetland water bodies, these always percolate water to the ground and supports underground the aquifers. So therefore, this is a very, very important. If there is no such type of these habitats, the wetlands, suppose if we destroy, maybe we are losing the groundwater as well as ecosystem, as well as whatever the value which is provided to the mankind, maybe we are losing. So that's what we should think of the geographical area where we can see undulated the earth system. We will get the water percolates down and move towards the slope and collect water, and the water is starts developing the ecosystem, and which provides the values to the people for fish, aquatic birds, aquatic the macrophytes, and aquatic benthas, okay, phytoplankton, zooplankton, and various other sources. It is people since the ages people are dependent on these. Okay, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
are following.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. See, you're all familiar. Aquatic ecosystems means, aquatic means water. The ecosystems are, that is, see, the once the rain drops reach to the water, let's say soil, it move towards a slope and forms small streams, small streams, and later small streams together connected to rivers, and that is called as flowing water body. That is called as low-tech ecosystems, streams, rivers. And another system, commonly, the water is stagnated. So that is called as still water, ponds, lakes, wetlands. So therefore, there are two type of such ecosystems are totally different. The flowing water ecosystem is totally different, and lentic water ecosystem is totally different because of the water flow here, and here water stagnate. So we'll discuss what is the importance of this the aquatic ecosystems. Okay, one by one. Okay. That's what I think. I don't want to go in deep because already we have discussed what is called wetlands and lakes. The world's lakes, rivers, and ponds are probably the planet's most important freshwater resources. So this is the only water because I think you understood about what is the status of such important water bodies. Okay. See, I think some of you, if you are interested, you can understand the difference of definition of the water body. A wetland is an ecosystem in which water covers the soil, that is either covered by water or present or near the soil. Okay. See, this is the photography shows this. This is a wetland. See, the soil is completely saturated, full of water, and small there are some birds is there, and this sediment consists of a lot of nutrients because of continuous deposition of nutrients and degrade, and it is a very good nutrient. And this nutrient is again helps for the sustenance of life, both in the sediment as well as surface water. So therefore, wetlands the most spectacular and impressive of the Earth's ecosystems when compared to the aquatic ecosystem because of it supports water as well as good nutrients continuously. So that's what I would like to show this. So always these water bodies are shallow water bodies, not very deep water bodies. Freshwater lakes, ponds are found in all parts of the world, everywhere, isn't it? So you can see here, this is you can see some of the coastal wetlands like mangroves, some of the marshy areas, swamps, and the bogs. Likewise, they can be natural or man-made. They can be coastal or inland. They can be floodplains. Okay, in riverine areas, there is a food collected under floodplains. Okay, so likewise, everywhere you can see in the Earth system such type of aquatic water bodies. Okay, so therefore you can see always hydrophytes. See, so water is there, but not full of water. It is just completely wet area. And you can see, if you go inside, you can see so many diversified the aquatic life we can encounter, dominated. Though it is appear to be a very neglected area, breeding sites, what we can say, mosquito breeding sites. But this is the area where very, very important. It supports recharge of groundwater and a lot of the biodiversity which is present in the area. Okay, so you can find some of the places you can go and observe in your area. Suppose if some of you are maybe from a village side, rural area, you can you go walk, you can find some of the water bodies appears to be like this. These are wetlands, predominantly supports hydrophytes, means the plants growing in water. Okay. So commonly we call it as different terminologies. Wetlands are marshy areas, and sometimes the wetlands also called as swamps, marshes, bogs, and ponds based on the geographical area, based on the nutrient, based on the topography. Okay, and this is marine. If you think of marine habitat, coastal areas, the coral reefs, rocky shores, estuarine areas, okay, deltas, tidal, marshes, and mangrove swamps, lacustrine wetlands associated with lakes, riverine wetlands along with rivers, polystrine, marshy, marshes, swamps, and bogs. Likewise, okay. But even then, people are not knowing in detail. But these are some of the very important the habitats which is supported the life. Okay. Then what are the important functions of the wetlands? Okay. So this is a very, very important. It contributes nearly 90% of the water wetlands have been degraded since 1700s. So therefore, people thinking that that's what I told you. These water bodies, people think that it is simply waste. Nowadays, the water is canals and the underground borewells, pump through borewells. But today, since the ages people who depend for cultivation of the crops, who mainly depend on small water bodies, but nowadays people they neglect it. So that's the reason today these water bodies are degraded, and this ecosystem is also what is called as neglected. So you can come to the history of the wetlands. Okay, you can see that some of the earliest records of living creatures on the earth come from ancient sediments of coastal wetlands. For example, what I would like to say that whatever the fossils which is available today, the history and the history of the earth, the life originated, the life started from this earth. Okay, we can what is called as collect from the wetlands where it is deposited, because this is the first area. Wetlands is the only first area the life began. So therefore, we can understand that whatever the coal, fossils, and fossil fuel what we are getting, it is all because of the wetland habitat. So therefore, that is the reason it is available to us, and we are utilizing for various purposes. Okay, so the fossil record of wetland documents unique and long persistent floras and faunas with wetland habitats. That also you can get the history of the flora and fauna in the sediment deposited by the millions of years back. So in order to what is called as people never bother about importance of the wetlands. So later, during 1971, 2nd February, there was a convention, what is called as the organized, that is Ramsar Convention, given importance to the such type of wetlands for conservation. And today, I think in India, wetlands giving importance in order to conserve wetlands. So therefore, Ramsar Convention is initiating all the protecting the wetlands and conserving the wetlands with the help of the Ramsar procedures was signed in Ramsar year 1971, and India is also signed in this treaty, and many of the Indian water bodies are now under Ramsar site, and therefore protected by the international bodies. Okay, the 2nd February 1997, the first World Wetland Day is celebrated in about 50 nations and becomes an annual event. And every February, the India is also celebrating. Every universities, schools, colleges, and institutions, non-governmental organizations aware about the importance of the wetlands and creating awareness, education, and overall protection of these water bodies. So this is one of the very unique swamp forest located in Western Ghat area, where this is my I have visited, and that's what I think. This is the Katlakan forest, and very unique biodiversity is present in this area. So I'll go very fast because maybe, and this is the always you can see the because of the eutrophication, because of the increase of nutrients, one of the particular plant is dominated, that is Salvinia. Once it appears in the entire the water body, it will degrade and increase the eutrophication, and so therefore that is what somehow later the load of sediment is also going to be increased and causes the water body slowly the water holding capacity directly reduced. So that is also one of the setback of industries. Okay. Similarly, some of the other type of wetland is called as peatlands, which accounts for about just 3% of the world's land surface, store twice as much as carbon as forest, thus playing crucial role in delivering global climate. So very, very important that the global, whatever the carbon which is present, this wetlands will going to be sequestered, absorbed, and it will enter into the sediment. So therefore, avoiding the global warming. See, this is the function of the values of the ecosystem, because one should not neglect such ecosystems. It is present in the atmosphere. These aquatic ecosystems plays very, very important role. Okay. Are you following, please?
Yes, sir. We are following.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir. And these are the coastal wetlands. Sundarban, I think you're all familiar. Sundarban wetlands, West Bengal, the only mangrove tiger land of the world. Okay. Sundarbans is a mangrove area in the delta formed by the confluence of the Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers, the Bay of Bengal. It spans from the Hooghly River in the India state of West Bengal of the Baleshwar River in Bangladesh. See, this is the very, very unique place where it is this transitional zone between the coastal water as well as saline water, fresh water. And this is a unique ecosystems. Okay, this I already discussed, importance of wetland. You should please note down this point that this is wetlands are often referred as kidneys of the landscape. Whatever the importance of the kidney, what we have, how it will going to purify our the body. Similarly, it purifies the water, the wetlands. So therefore, the water which is it absorbs, and because it filters out harmful materials. Whatever the harmful contaminants it reach to the water, these water bodies slowly self-purify and remove, restore, and see 1 acre of wetland can store 1 to 1.5 million gallons of flood water, and it controls flood. It is a buffer zone. Okay, urban areas are flooded is due to because of loss of the wetlands. If these wetlands are present, it will definitely prevent such the incidents that come to the people who are affected. Okay. In addition to that, you're all familiar that people simply wetland sediment. I think whatever the soil which is present in the bottom, that is very rich in nutrients. That it is useful for the restoration of the soil, particularly the agricultural land. Nowadays, the farmers use these the sediment for increasing the nutrient level instead of using chemical fertilizers. Okay, this is the natural fertilizer helps in order to improve the biological life, particularly microbial life, to enrich the soil longer with sustainable soil to the society and the agricultural system. Okay, it protects storms, it purifies water, it stores nutrients, it controls erosion, it stabilizes local climate and maintain ecological balance. So these water bodies having the importance of all these. So therefore, one should not neglect. So there is a direct values, indirect values, optional values, and non-use values. So likewise, there are various types of values you can find if though the water which is one or two water bodies, if you have find in your local area, just go and observe, have an interest. So then only will be knowing importance of the these type of wetlands. And it is also very important that it remove the contaminants. See, this is the one of the plant which plays very important role. Even the contaminants, high load of contaminants, it will be removed, and that's what nowadays it will be one of the very important plant used for removal of contaminants in sewage and industrial effluents. This is dominated in the wetland area where the nutrient is rich. So this plant absorbs a lot of nutrients, remove all the contaminants. What I would like to say that this is socio-economic value is very rich in the area where when there is some wetlands, okay, people who depends on these plants. I think you can see this plant. Okay, this is a Neelambo nucifera. Even in Gauri and Ganesha festival, if you go to market, okay, the people always they say the price 50 rupees. Even I think this year I went to market, I asked that this flower cost about 50 rupees. So this is cheaply available. People go there and pluck the materials and bring it to the market, and they market it, and they'll get the income. This is what is called as a natural resource providing to the common man, so that if you are losing such water bodies, it is self-employment, learning, self-earning capacity will going to be loose. So that is also most important. One should think combined massive fishing also possible in if there is a wetlands are present, if lakes are present, if ponds are present. Okay, and some hydroponics used for making mat and basket. People are using, local people. This can be used as a various purposes for making basket and various ornamental materials. Okay, nowadays the local the attract materials. It attracts a lot of the materials developed by local area, collecting silt for local agricultural field through Gram Panchayat. One load of tractor costs rupees 600. See, whatever the bottom sediment that costs around 600 rupees, even more than that, because of having very good nutrients. Okay, similarly, traditional fishing. Okay, people get fish if they are because of once the water level is recedes, okay, and having economic value, more of fish, food, and other value is water conservation, food from edible plants and aquatic animals, rich source of nutrients, and also very important that it is an ecological balance, means it balances the ecosystem. Okay, so therefore that is also most important. So how this wetland plays maximum role? Okay, that's what the water, the contaminated water is turned into clean. Okay, by removing the nutrients. Okay, decomposed plants are rich in nutrients. See it is a fodder. People can be used as a fodder, and people can make use this water resources area for construction of the making bricks. Plants are used for composting. wetland soils are used to make bricks for building purposes. So like this, huts built by using mud and reeds of wetlands. Are you following? Dear
Yes, sir.
teachers,
Yes, sir.
faculty members, please.
Let's continue.
Yeah. See, different types of fish from wetlands as a source of food to the local people. Okay. So these are the uses of wetlands. There are a number of medicinal plants present in the area. Okay. And there are craft materials we can develop with the help of some of the grasses and timber production. Okay. All these are very, very useful. And there are very important medicinal plants. I think this is the one of the plant is very, very important, Nymphia and Alternanthera. Okay. It is one of the medicinal plant. Okay. For particularly eye problems, people who are having. And it is a very important aesthetic value. If you go there in the water body, you'll get a peace of mind. Psychologically, if you are depressed, so you'll get very refreshed. So that's what the water body is also very, very aesthetic value. That is, it attracts tourists. Okay, and you can see the water, you can see the birds, you can see the greenery, and you can see the what is called as such a very interesting waterfalls. Okay, so therefore it attracts the people, and it is also having economic value. Okay, that is also most important. Don't say that it is no value. Okay, and it attracts birds. Okay, like that. It controls, maintain water quality, food chain supporting cycle. Once there is a aquatic water body, you can see even in sediment, lot of invertebrates, mammals, fishes, birds. Okay, all are supported. And wetlands as a biodiversity it is. And see here, I think this is the food web and food chain ecosystem present in the water body. Okay. And these are the biodiversity. And you can see microscopic life which is abundant in the water. Okay. I don't want to go in deep because this is specialized to understand people who are people who are from botany, people from zoology. You can understand more because this is a microscopic organisms abundant in water bodies, particularly in aquatic wetlands. Okay, these are the biodiversity, microscopic life which is present, desmids, aquatic plants, and these are the macrophytes you can find. Okay, you can see the picture itself, the photo itself is giving you all the information. Macrophytes are very important for the support of other smaller life like reptiles, insects, and various other species which is dependent on these aquatic plants. Okay, these are the life which is supported. So I think if you anywhere you can go there, bird sanctuaries, okay, is because of the wetlands. Okay, so I don't want to go in deep. So this is one of the wetland you can find in our place in Shimoga area, that is called Gudavi Bird Sanctuary. So some of the important wetlands in India, I think you see it is all Ramsar sites, Loktak Lake. Okay, I think all these are some of the important wetland sites. So despite all of these importance, uses and values, wetland ecosystems has serious threats locally and globally. Today, I think we discussed such a valuable resources provide to the humankind. But today, under threat, these water bodies are under stress and threat, and human activity increasing the water bodies are neglected. So this is how water bodies are eutrophicated because of the rich in nutrients enter into the system because of the surface runoff of agricultural waste materials and sewage runoff. Okay. And because of the lot of severe drought, the water bodies are completely dried out. So we can lose the life which is present in the biodiversity. Okay, during summer season, some of the smaller water bodies completely dried out, and because of the exposure, because of the temperature increase. Okay, all these, and because of unplanned urbanization and rapid industrialization causing deterioration of water quality. Most of the water bodies are what is called as deteriorated, and the water is no use, and the life is also not possible to sustain in these water ecosystems. So this is the research what we carried out in the aquatic wetlands, water birds, and what we have recorded, some of the phytoplanktons like this. The phytoplankton is rich in water bodies, okay, and it is a source of food for fishes, source of food for other animals. Okay, see, these are the zooplanktons, and I see a boy who is carrying out the aquatic plant that is Nymphia flower, and this is very useful to the market. People buy this, okay, and it is very attractive, although it is growing in lakes. Okay, so these are some of the studies what we carried out in wetland ecosystems, and these are some of the aquatic plants is present. Diversity of aquatic plants you can see, and particularly in the Western Ghats, these are the aquatic plants. Please, are you following? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, we are following.
yeah,
Yes,
these are
sir.
the plants. These are the rich diversity you can't see, and it varies from place to place, varies from what is called as the wetlands to wetlands. Okay, according to the nutrient level which is present, the diversity is rich and sustained, and that is endemic plants. Okay, supported. Okay, these are the life recorded, aquatic plants recorded, insectivorous plant recorded in our area, particularly the aquatic habitat. See, these are the insectivorous plant. These are the plants. I think, and see, in Bangalore, I think Neelambo newspaper are one of the most aesthetic creations of nature. See, he has kept here, and he is marketing. I think this is very interesting that I collected in one of the newspaper. Climate change, it helps to improve the climate change. Okay. And climate change impact on biodiversity. Because of climate change, the biodiversity is affected. Okay, so therefore we should see that in future, because of the change of the climate change, increasing of temperature, global greenhouse gases impact in future our water bodies, and the life may not sustain. So therefore, the species at risk. These are some of the zooplanktons is under risk, maybe because of the contaminations, and the water level is completely loose. So these are some of the impact commonly we can see. So this is what is called, because of continuous evaporation of water, the water bodies will go completely dried out, and last, see, these are the water bodies neglected. People, though it is a lake, though it is a water body, it is completely neglected. It is dumped, the waste materials, sewage, and it is unused, no use. Therefore, this is a breeding site of the sea. So this is also water body, but it is completely encroached by the local the farmers. Sorry. Okay. So to conclude this, the wetlands are shrinking the water storage area due to encroachment and siltation. So now the area is shrinking is because of the encroachment. Urban runoff transports waste materials and sewage load, and sedimentation load with rich organic matter is a major problem. And lack of awareness about the importance of water resources is because of this. The water bodies are degraded. Okay. So therefore, it is necessary to spread awareness. We need to promote research and adopting recommendations, and regular excavation of sediment is required. Okay. Then only sustainable development, okay, is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So therefore, these habitats must conserve in order to meet the demand of future generations. Available to us, the same resources should be transferred straight to the future generations. Then only our motto is our responsibility is most important, I think. So we use sustainable utilization for the benefit of mankind in a way compatible with the maintenance of the natural properties of the ecosystem. Human use of a wetland so that it may yield the greatest continuous benefits to present generations while maintaining its potential to meet the needs and aspirations of future generations. So value manage, restore, love wetlands. If you love wetlands, manage. If you know the value, definitely we can protect. We can keep our resources for future mankind. It is the responsibility of every individual. With this, I conclude. Thank you for patience. Thank you for knowing something about wetlands as well as water quality. If you have any doubts, please interact with me another 5 minutes. Thank you. My dear faculty members, teachers, please be free. Are you following?
Yes, sir, we are following.
Yes. Any questions? Any interactions? Any clarifications? I think you are not understood.
No, sir, we understood thoroughly.
Yeah,
It was really nice session.
Yeah, please be bold because everybody has to learn. Okay.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Whatever
It
I
was
know,
very informative, sir.
Yeah, because of some problems happened. Okay, sorry for that also. And,
No, sir. Very informative lecture.
So that if
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Ram sir and all things
patient,
were very
I
new
think that
for
will be
us.
very good. Yeah, very good. Thank you, madam. Thank you all, one and all. And please keep in touch with these wetlands, these water bodies, and have a concern. Okay,
Yes, sir,
and all of
definitely.
us together join in order to conserve our water bodies. Thank you very much. Shall I stop this? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, shall I stop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So my lecture is over.
Thank you.
Rule number 26. Whose turn is this?
Sir, one question, please.
Yeah, please, please. Please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please.
Sir,
Come on.
Sir, my question is,
Yeah.
sir, my question is if nitrate, lead, and antimony are present in water,
Okay.
so how we can remove all these radicals? Is there any method, sir?
Yeah, nowadays there is a natural method. I think I told some of the macrophytes, the plants which is growing in water bodies, having uptake of these nutrients. Suppose maybe it all depends on the individual species of plants. Okay. So these are the plants, and also some of the benthic organisms the microorganisms can possibly remove. That the research has been confirmed. But that can be transferred. That is nowadays you may be knowing that constructed wetlands nowadays in the urban areas, in order to treat the water, the contaminated water in the lakes, to treat that, they are using constructed wetlands. Similarly, the same procedure they are following, that some of the aquatic plants can be able to remove, can be able to absorb, can be able to mitigate, reduce the level of concentration which is present in the sediment and sediment and water bodies. Also possible. Okay. Other than that, treatment is required. But for treatment, for that it is required in order to, while we have to collect samples, test the samples, what is the level of the contaminants present, arsenic, lead, nickel, iron, cobalt, copper, zinc, which is present in the water, heavy metals. So then there is a standard method in order to remove these elements by different methods. So that is also possible. So it's going on. Only thing it is a costliest effect. Instead of that, natural purification method is that restoration. The wetlands itself is purified, remove the contaminants. That is also there. The type of wetlands which is absorbing and it removes the nutrient level. I hope you understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks,
sir.
Sir,
My question is, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Tell me.
Which is the best book for water analysis? Hello, sir.
Oh, APHA, American Public Health Association. APA, standard method, no?
Oh, standard for analysis.
Yeah. Otherwise, you go to R.K. Trivedi book.
R.K. Trivedi.
R.K. Trivedi book
Okay,
also.
sir. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? And one more. I think you can go to Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Okay.
Which one, sir? Which one?
Sir, pardon, please. Repeat.
Namah Shivaya.
What is Namah Shivaya, sir?
Namah Shivaya, that is sewage, effluent, sewage and water analysis procedures. Namah Shivaya. Okay. Any other questions, please?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your fruitful session.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Shall I close?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for patience.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.